progress.
Welcome to EIPIP Meeting 113. This is issue number 378 on ETH Cat Herders EIPIP GitHub repository. I have shared the link in chat for people to refer to. In agenda, we have some edit to final proposals, some pull request for consideration. We will look into call for input, which I think have passed their deadline. We just need to make a decision and close those call for inputs. Among other discussions, I have a reviewer's report, the survey that we conducted last month on the interest of people who are interested in joining and how they are doing. And then there would be some updates from EIPS Insight team. Yeah, I see someone joined from the team. Mostly all about it. So beginning with the first item on the agenda, which is edit to final proposals. The first PR here is PR number 866, which is for ERC 6381. It seems that author has already approved it, but for some reason this is not merged. I'm not sure if we need a force merge here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a final ERC.
Yeah.
And we can obviously merge this since it's a small, just a little typo. It's fine.
Yeah, right. And I think author has also approved it, so seems okay. And the next one is also the similar case. We are discussing ERC PR number 870, which is a final proposal. For 7528 is the final proposal, and we are discussing the merging of PR, which is with respect to this proposal. It seems like it has already been approved by the author, but since it is a final proposal, we are waiting on editor's approval to merge it, or maybe force merge it.
So that was 6381, you said? Yeah, okay.
No, it's 7528.
Oh, 7528, the
yeah,
next one.
I think.
All right. Yep, that's fine by me.
All right. Matt, I think it's again similar case. Okay. Perfect. The third one is add proxy call to 6492 reference implementation. Any thoughts on this one? I think it is failing 2 of the bot checks.
Yeah, that like the bot doesn't matter too much for these. It's more okay. Proxy call using factory to stop. Yes, this is a normative change, like you said. I'll open a call for input for this one, just because yeah. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I have a quick query here with respect to change. I know there are a lot of changes coming up with the network upgrades. Suppose there is a small change to an existing PR which was deployed in one of the network upgrades. If we have to move the pointer, like just make a small change to the spec here, do we need a new proposal, or we can just go back and update that old one?
I think if it's a small change, it's probably okay. I don't know how everybody else feels.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind a small change.
Okay, that's good to know. I was discussing it with one of the meeting with Peep and Eep, and there's a proposal that may be changing a small spec for future upgrade. And I was just wondering from process point of view, like, do we need to create a new EIP altogether to be deployed with the future upgrade, or we can just go back and update it? Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. Is this like something that's already deployed on the network and in a
Yes.
new fork, they want to change the behavior of it?
Yes, the pointer. They want to change the endpoint, I guess.
Hmm. See, that would be different. So like if, like for example, if you were changing the gas cost of an opcode, that would have to be a new EIP.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was mostly related to blob-based fee. With respect to 7706, when it is deployed, we may have to change a little bit there, but it's not the problem to deal with today. I was just curious from process point of view, how do we deal it when it comes?
Yeah, if it's hit the network, it has to be a new EIP, and if it hasn't hit the network, then it's probably fine not to. Yeah.
That sounds like a good one. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Moving ahead, we had the stagnant bot issue that was discussed in the last meeting. I don't know if anybody has new thoughts, but I see that point added in the agenda later on to be discussed by the EIPS Insight team. I believe they have some suggestions, solution around that.
Yeah, we want to discuss a few things related to that. Let me share
Okay.
my screen, and I made a presentation for that.
Okay. Just to give some context here, in the last meeting, we discussed that the stagnant bot is causing issue to some of the EIPs where the EIPs are not currently actively pursued because they have been moved to the future upgrade. So they may be used in future upgrades, and authors wouldn't want that marked as a stagnant. So how do we deal with this issue? Yeah, please go ahead.
So, like, first I'll give a basic overview of how it is working and what modification we can make. So these are the stagnatable statuses which is being checked in the process while moving to stagnant by the EIP bot. And actually, I also have one additional question over here. Like here, we are checking for the draft and review status for the stagnatable status. Is last call, I mean, can last call also be included for the stagnatable status? This is one of my question. If anyone can answer that, that would be helpful.
I have
Sorry,
noticed some of the ERCs which are in last call since 2023. So my best guess would be yes, they should be. I'm sorry, Sam, you were saying something.
Oh, I was just going to say if you could repeat the question.
So, like currently EIP bot is checking if it is in draft or review, then it can be considered for the stagnant status. If it is not in one of these two states, I mean statuses, then it won't be included, I mean considered for the stagnant status. That is how it is working right now. Can last call also be included for that? Is my question.
I think if it's in last call, it doesn't go to stagnant. It should just go to final. You should probably open a pull request to move it to final. I don't know how you feel about that, Matt.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah, so we could do that, but it shouldn't go to stagnant because it's done. There shouldn't be any more edits to it.
Okay. Okay, then I'll go ahead for the rest of presentation. So this is how it is working for the code part. Currently, first it is checking the I mean, the last interaction when it was made, the last commit made by the author or someone else, and then it is, applying the stagnant protocol. So, if we'll update it so that it will be checking the requires field, and I mean as per what Pooja ma'am said just now, if a meta EIP or any if a meta EIP is included in the requires field of EIP, then it shouldn't be going to the stagnant status. Is it right, or am I going wrong with that?
So you're suggesting that if an active meta EIP is pointing to a stagnant or is pointing to an EIP that would go to stagnant, just don't move it to stagnant?
Yeah, that is what I'm suggesting too.
Um,
If we can add that check, then it would be solving the issue, is what we were able to propose.
so I so that kind of makes like that makes sense, but it also has the problem of like what if the meta EIP is never updated? But I guess if it goes stagnant and then the other one could all okay. So as long as there is a non-stagnant
Yeah.
EIP referencing it, you can keep it out of stagnant, and I think that's fine. I don't even think it needs to be meta. It just needs to be any active EIP.
Yeah, we can make it like that.
Yeah, we
And
can
also,
talk about
yeah,
this after, but yeah, I think this is a reasonable way of doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also have one other question. Like currently, the EIP bot is using one particular commit. I mean, in one particular commit in the past for the stagnant bot. Um, so, like in case if we want to change it, how do we change it? Like current code is entirely different from what it is using for the stagnant bot.
Oh, like there's like an undeployed um, commits on like in the repository that haven't been deployed to the repository yet.
So the cases, like I'll give you an overview of that. Currently, there is a IP bot code, and it is built. I mean, the current EIP's repository is using one particular commit that is made way back in the past of the EIP bot. So, they are using that particular commit of EIP bot for stagnant bot, and in case if we want to edit it, like it is completely different from the existing code of the EIP bot, like the current code right now.
Yeah.
So,
So it's been
uh,
rewritten since, and we haven't switched to using it. Is kind of what you're
yeah,
saying.
like in case if we have to edit anything, how do we do that is my question.
I guess we have two choices there. We can either branch off the old commit and make our changes from there, or we can use the new commit, but we have to test to make sure that it works. So PandaPip used to maintain the Stagnant bot. Matt and I have pretty much zero idea how it works. So I guess if we can come up with a way to test the bot and make sure that it works, then I guess we start from the latest commit in that repository. But if we have no way of testing it, I'd say probably just make a new branch off of the old commit and develop from there.
Yeah, okay. That's it from my side regarding this one. If there are any questions or any comments, that would be helpful.
I have just one concern slash comment here. So when we are talking about last call, like I understand last call proposal should not go to stagnant. It should either go to final or, I mean, it should go to final. But the reason why we haven't been sending it to final or creating a pull request for that, because we expect authors to be around to be able to make the pull request, making sure that author is convinced that this proposal should go into final. So I'm not 100% convinced that there should be
Oh,
an
I see.
generate PR.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe like if it opens the PR but doesn't like force it. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, if we do not do anything, that proposal will be in the last call forever, but that defeats the purpose of sending into stagnant. However, I feel like, okay, if the person or the author would get the message by bot that this proposal is marked for being stagnant, perhaps they will come back and just make a new PR, or maybe we can add this statement in the bot. Whenever you are sending the message to last call proposal, please add, just create a new PR to move it to final and it will be done. So that way we can persuade authors to finish the proposal. Don't just end up living in the last call forever. For example, I have shared ERC 5008. It seems that proposal's last call ended in August 2023, but it's still there, not in stagnant. Ideally, it should be. In my mind, sorry. Yeah, I think so. If it is not final, it should be stagnant. It cannot be in any other status forever. Maybe we can work on nuances of this a little bit more. For now, we can exclude last call if people think that's the right approach to go forward with, and we see how the stagnant bot comes up.
Honestly, I think just moving to stagnant would be acceptable, as long as it's past the last call deadline. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's just move everything to stagnant, with the exception of like check the last call deadline, and I think that's better.
Yeah, right. Generally speaking, last call deadline is there for 2 weeks only, and the stagnant bot hits only if it is 6 months past. Very
Works
well.
for me.
Thank you. Moving forward, we have call for inputs to be discussed. I see there are 3 call for inputs there, and all of them have passed their deadline. Sam, if you would like to maybe.
Yeah,
take-
sure. So we have 373, which is moving hard forks to informational. I just changed my vote on this to opposed and closed it. So we'll just leave them as meta. We also have forcibly withdrawing EIP 7675. And we want to withdraw it because it is a list. And yeah, right now I think we're leaning towards withdrawing it and then like doing some work in the renderer to make it work. And then finally we have number 376, and this is allowing links to blockchain commons. Right now there's me opposed and Gajinder is neutral on it. Just leave a comment on it. Perfect. I'll close that at end of day today.
Well, thank you for that, and thank you for clarifying 373. I was wondering the stagnant bot is based on that, like it is checking the meta EIP. So if we move it to informational, then we also have to check the informational EIP. But since we are keeping it in meta, everything should work out well. Next on agenda is other discussion and updates from the past meetings. So if people remember, about a month ago, we organized EIP editors a workshop in which we invited people who are interested in becoming EIP editor or reviewer. I have shared a survey in there, like how many people are there interested in participating in the process, and what is their areas of expertise. I just shared link in the chat. Perhaps I can share my screen to share this. Second, I don't know why it is taking too long. 2, 3. Okay. I think it should be visible now. Is screen sharing working well? Let me know if it doesn't.
Yep, you look good.
Okay, perfect. So here is the EIP editor's review interest form. So we collected this interest form suggesting like how many people are interested in participating and what are their area of expertise by which we can get some input, and we will be able to help process the proposals which are added as PRs. So we have received 6 interests which are from core development. That means either they are part of a client development team currently, or they actively contribute to the core development side of it, the protocol side of it. And there are a couple of people for networking, PADAS as well. So I'm very much hopeful that we would be getting some reviews on the spec side of the pull request that's generally gets in, and they are available to contribute to 1 to 5 hours per week. I was also looking into one of the dashboards that is created. I think it will be shared later on in detail, but it was shared with me. So I was looking into this leaderboard stuff here. We already have started collecting the input by these reviewers based on this interest form. They have collected the GitHub ID and collecting their work over here. I have 2 questions here with respect to this reviewers set that we are going forward. Do we need a place to document their name formally so we know that these people are reviewers? If we can do it somewhere, I'm happy to do it in the reviewers document itself, but if we need to do it formally somewhere, that would be nice to have. As well as we would love to know the next step for them. I understand when we were doing editors apprenticeship program, the idea was to keep them there for next 6 months, review their performance, how they do, and then perhaps promote it to the EIP editor's job. I'm curious what people think about moving forward with a reviewers set of people. Yeah, I already see some comments here in the chat. Victor, if you have to add something on that, I don't know if you met someone somewhere. Oh, can you connect us? Yes, of course.
So is the goal for these people to become editors? Like, do they want to participate in the governance side of this as well?
They want to support pushing the pull request as fast as possible. But from the last all core dev, it seems like there is some interest in participating in governance side as well, because they would want to make some changes on EIP side.
Sure. So I think I'd be happy to have a section in EIP1 documenting these people, and then we can give them permission to merge all the way up to, say, last call.
Maybe this would be too early for that. We can give the permission part after 6 months down the line, keeping in mind the interest is still there. But I was just hoping to have like more formalized way of involving them with the process. I would assume that EIPIP meeting could be the good venue for them to be actively participating if they want to be a part of governance. Other than that, is there any suggestion on how they can improve on reviewing side and be a part of?
I mean, coming to office hours is probably the best way to do that, and maybe we rotate like through them as different hosts, so that they can do office hours and kind of get that side of the reviewing process.
That's a very good suggestion. Any other editor has any thoughts to add? Yeah, +1 to Sam. It's a good one. Very well. I'm going to share this review report with the community shortly. And then we will also add the recommendations. I think rotating host in office hour is a good one, and we will also recommend them to join the EIPIP meeting on a regular basis. Might be helpful for them to go forward. All right. With that, next on agenda is EIPS Insight Monthly EIPS Status Reporting. Yeah, Vivian, if you would like to take this section.
Yeah, thanks, Pooja. I will be sharing that. Let me start with a few updates. This one you already mentioned, we started to collect information regarding the reviewers, and you can view the data in the leaderboard page over here. Like their enter data is present over here. We'll be adding more based on the inputs from your side. And coming to the next thing, like we discussed in the last EIPIP meeting, Sam suggested that we should be integrating the EIPW bot to our website so that there will be only one check overall, I mean, everywhere. So we have integrated the EIPW bot. Here I am leaving the authors section in the preamble feed so that I can show you a demo of that. Once I'll enter the inputs and click on validate, it will be validating, and this is the error that came, I mean, this is the output that came from the EIPW bot check for this one. So like we have integrated that to our website, so it would be better accessible and usable. And we'll be adding more features like importing an EIP so that it will be uh, not just for the draft, and we can also import and modify it based on that. That is another thing we are working on, and we'll let you know once it got updated. And
Cool.
then, yeah, and in
Before
the
you move on to the next topic,
yeah,
EIPW does have a JSON output, so it's a little easier to parse. I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah. But continue.
yeah. And in the EIP board, we also added this filter for the labels in order to remove the unnecessary labels. And also, we have made some slight modifications so that the one that are in the withdrawn status will be moved to the bottom as they are least prioritized over this. We'll be adding more FAQ, I mean, general questions related to this so that it can be understood by everyone, even they are using the website for the first time. And this is on the update. We have added a slot countdown for the Spectra upgrade for all these Holesky, Sepolia, and mainnet. Currently, mainnet is not announced yet, so it will be showing up like this. But for Sepolia and Holesky, you can track it live over here. It will be showing the number of slots away and also estimated time. That is under update. And coming to the monthly insight, uh, there are 3 EIPs, 3 ERCs, and 1 RAP that moved to the draft state, and 2 ERCs and 1 EIP for the review, and 14 for large column EIP and 1 for ERC. And 2 ERCs were moved to the final state, and 2 were moved for the stagnant state in the EIPs. And also we have added this last updated feature so that you can get an idea about when it was last updated, and when like in case if it is missing, you can just look at this and get to know that it is not updated yet, and you can check back later. So these are the updates from my side.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Thank you so much for all the work on that.
Great.
Thank you, Sam.
I see there is an open PR number 9244.
Yeah, regarding that, we have added a pull request to the EIPH.Ethereum to add our website to the eiph.ethereum.org, and one editor responded, and I think there should be at least two of them in order to get finalized, is what I think. If any other editor will also be responding to that, it would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, to provide some more context, basically this is for any new author who are trying to document the proposal. They can make use of this proposal builder tool, in which they can just add their text, and they will get the .md file that can be made as a PR, and it will be pre-checked by EIPW. So there are at least possibility of having some bot related issues when they make the pull request. So just to help out new authors there. All right. I see that's pretty much for today's agenda. For EIP editing office hour, I am yet to get confirmation from the EIP only office hour for the next week. If it is not planned, then we will have our regular EIP editing office hour 2 weeks from yesterday. And yeah, that's pretty much all about it. Anyone has anything else to add or share?
Sorry, good afternoon. I think I'm lost somewhere. About the reviewers form. Can you please explain more?
So the reviewers form?
Yes, because okay, to be sure, the reviewers have been selected already, right?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
I said, to be sure, the reviewers has been selected already.
Oh, it's not like that. It's like a free process. If you are interested in doing that, you can be a part of it. It's not selection, it's by choice. Like, people are opting in for that. So let me provide some more context here. About a month ago, we announced a workshop in which we invited community participants to join us as a
Sorry. Yes, I know about that, and I filled the form. I filled the form. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, perfect.
I was.
So whatever reviews you would be doing going forward will be added to EIPS Insight dashboard that I shared in the meeting here, and with that we can get some data point to consider at the end of 6 months if someone is ready to be promoted as an editor, and that individual should be getting merged permissions on all. So that's pretty much about the reviewers program as of now, but we are looking forward to have more more resources made available to these new reviewers / editors, and yeah, we are open to all kind of suggestions how we can improve this and get more people on board.
I also have one thing to add, like if there is any possibility of providing the GitHub handles of the reviewers that you want to track, it would be helpful for us. So that is one thing that I wanted to add.
Yeah, I think that's what Sam mentioned. If we can have it added in EIP1, then it will be easier for community to follow. But yes, we will get there. In the meantime, I do have the list of people who have already filled up the form, and I can share the GitHub handles of each one of them, so the EIP reviewers dashboard may be able to track their progress.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mercy, I'm wondering if you have any more question on this, or if there is any more support that we can provide you to actively contribute it here.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much. I'm thankful to everyone who are volunteering their time to review these proposals. This is very helpful to all the editors and also the authors, because the feedback will be integrated again, and we hope to get better proposals. Anyone has any other thing for today? I think I have one last thing that I would like to check with the editors, how they feel about it. I know EIPIP meeting has been managed by cat herders for quite long time. We do open the agenda here. I mean, like create an issue to make an agenda item over here. What are the general thought in moving it to Ethereum/PM, especially for agenda, creating agenda? Because I feel like that is a place where all protocol meetings are being tracked. And because this is out of the repository, sometimes people slip this meeting. So if we add agenda over there, may be helpful for people to follow, and even more client developers will be actively participating. I got one thumbs up. Okay, I got one more. Okay, happy to see it moved. I will initiate this conversation, and for now, I am creating the agenda for the next meeting in the same repository as we did it till date. But once we get approval to move it there, I will close this one, and will add more from going forward to the Ethereum PM GitHub repository. Well, that's all from today's agenda. I hope to see everyone third Wednesday. I think it's March 19th, the next time it is falling. In the meantime, we can still continue talking about it, chatting about it in the Discord channel of ETH Herders. Thank you everyone for joining us here today.